Were the Cowboys overrated?
Yeah, but the Cowboys are who we thought they were.
Oh, really?
They might have a quarterback controversy brewing in Dallas. Old Hoover Rush.
Yeah.
You saw what old Coop did last time.
Huh. He didn't get to play yesterday.
Don't do that. Well, he should have.
Yeah.
Because the other guy shouldn't have played. Skip, Now, I want to know, because last week we had a conversation about the defense being better than what they stats said. I said, no, Skip. They stats say they're a middle of the pack, slightly below middle of the pack defense. No, Mike McCarthy, and you was echoing, parroting what Mike McCarthy said. I haven't seen a defense flip so fast in a year.
One side of the ball.
One
flip.
side of the ball, yeah, defense, flip.
Okay.
My team, my Broncos, I love my Broncos, Skip, but you know they hadn't scored 20 points in 4 of the last 5 games. They have had not scored 30 points in a game all season long. Although they had beaten up on Jacksonville, they had beaten up on the Giants, they beat up on Washington, they hadn't reached 30. Yesterday, against a team that defense is better than what their stats would indicate, they ran through them like Sherman through Atlanta. And I was like, what? I was like, what's going on? So I tuned in, Skip, because I looked up. It was 13-0 before I even finished my breakfast. And lo and behold, Skip, look, you and I both know you guys are in the worst division in football. You feasted on the Giants, and you're going to feast on Washington. You beat Philly. You beat some bottom feeders. You got an impressive victory. I give you credit. The Chargers, you got a victory over them. You beat New England. But other than that, Skip, your record's inflated. You know that. I know that. Now, before I turn it over to you, because I don't want to gloat, because I had my time yesterday. But this is what I want to know, Skip. Why was Dak Prescott in that game with 6 minutes to go and you're down 30? Because here's what we know. When the score was 27-0, Dak Prescott line was 6 of 19 for 79 yards. When the score reached 30-0, Dak Prescott numbers was 8 of 23 for 102 yards, an interception, and no touchdowns. Then all of a sudden, Dak Prescott comes in, he gets 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. And everybody's like, but Dak didn't play that bad. Dak was awful. And I'm glad, I wonder why you didn't ask me to give him a grade. But I'll go ahead and give him a grade for you, even though you didn't ask for it. You know what he got. F. And your Cowboys are who we thought they were. And the Broncos didn't let them off the hook. Now, you still feel confident you're going to the Super Bowl? No.
I didn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl.
They're not going anywhere.
Okay.
You might win a playoff game. You'll get a playoff game. Because
wait, they're going nowhere, but then they might win a playoff game?
No. Hold on. It's going to be contingent on who you get. You get the Rams, you're one and done. You get the Cardinals, you're one and done. You mess around and get the Bucks, you're one and done.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Since I picked them to win the Super Bowl.
I don't care about that, but we ain't talking about the Bucks right now. We're talking about the Bucks at a later date and time. Right now, we're talking about your sorry, pathetic, no good, mangy, nothing for nothing Cowboy.
You mean the team that you gave me the field against? Yeah, I mean, you took the field against my team, so you've got TF as in the field
Correct.
in the NFC East,
yes,
right? And that's for 10 cases of Diet Mountain Dew, and I'm up like 100 now. I don't know. I've lost track of it. I've got 3 swimming pools full of Diet Mountain Dew down in my little place. It takes up my whole backyard to have 3. I've had to have 2 put in.
I mean, you got off to an early start. You got a couple of cases early off.
Yeah, a couple of cases early. So are you willing to say the Cowboys will not win the East? Is that your prediction now?
Not saying anything.
The sorry Cowboys?
Yeah. That's like me saying the sun is not going to shine tomorrow in Southern California. It does that all the time.
I think it's going to rain tomorrow.
It ain't going to rain nothing. Skip, you know that's a sorry division. Is it a good division? I just want to say, is it a good division? Yes or no?
It has one good team in it.
So it's not a good division. It's got one good team.
Yeah. So are you willing to concede the division? Is that what you're saying?
Why do you think I haven't? Skip, hold on.
You know, I was going to let you out of the bet, let you buy your way out at a reduced price. But now, after your diatribe to start the show, after you had the audacity to wear that helmet and go Kawasaki on it, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire every last step, all the way home for 10 cases of Diet Mountain Dew. And I will win that bet.
Skip.
I feel safe in saying I will win it because I've already won it.
But see, this is why I didn't buy out quite yet. You said buy. You've been trying to get me to buy for 3 weeks. I said, Skip, can we at least get to like week 10 or 11? You said you're going to let me get to week 10 of 11. So I think we're at week 9 now, week 10. So give me 2 more weeks. If we don't make a movement, Then you let your
you're done on the buyout. It's over after the show you just put on, the sorry show. Okay, it is now my turn to talk about my Dallas Cowboys, and I will admit, I was so shell-shocked last night that I could barely speak about my Dallas Cowboys. I could barely tweet. I could barely post because I did not see that coming. You did not see that coming.
No.
Nobody saw that coming. You can argue it was the biggest upset of the day. If you want to go Jacksonville 9-6 over Buffalo, but the shock of this, the fact that my Cowboys were down 30-0 at home to Teddy Bridgewater and what was left of the Broncos, because I remind everybody, Von Miller got shipped out last week.
Yes.
And I remind everybody, by the end of the game, 3 of your offensive linemen were down, 1 to start and 2 got hurt.
Yes.
And I will remind everybody that I was excited to watch the guy I wanted the Cowboys to draft, Patrick Surtain, play cornerback yesterday. He was gone in the first quarter with a knee injury and did not return.
He didn't.
I don't know where even Malik Reed was your leading sacker coming in.
He got hurt.
Okay, he got hurt and he was out. Okay, so I'm not even sure who was playing for the Broncos. So I've told you from the start, the one thing about me with my Cowboys, I am a painfully objective Cowboy fan. When they stink, I say they stink. Okay. And yesterday for me was beyond stink. Yesterday was so shell-shocking because I told you all along for 8 weeks of 6-2, 7 weeks of 6-1 actually, but all the way up to yesterday, I kept telling you, this is a team I trust. I kept saying, this is a legit, authentic playoff team that I believe will be competitive in every game it plays. And I must admit, when this happened, especially when the fourth quarter came, I sat back and said, uh-oh, I'm in trouble here because my team just got exposed by what's left of your team. And it rocked me to my core because nothing good happened yesterday. I don't have one good thing that I can take away and say, well, at least we did that. Because let's start with my quarterback, shall we? He had 2 weeks off, and he came back at best rusty. At worst, he was just awful.
Right.
This was a flashback to 2019 Dak as he was playing for a contract down the stretch. This man is being paid $75 million to play this year. Yesterday, he was worth $7.50. And I'm not exaggerating, $7.50. And to me, for once, you giving him an F, that's too good. There's got to be worse than an F. At least it's an F minus. Maybe it's a G. I don't even know what a G is. But it was so bad because he was so off the whole game until garbage time. Well, we already know he's in the garbage Hall of Fame.
Yeah, empty calories.
Okay?
Yeah, they don't taste good.
Okay. Well, he did it again yesterday because, to your point, as he goes to the fourth quarter, he's 6-19 for 79 yards. That's impossible for me to compute in my brain.
Right.
They were as hot an offensive team as there was in the league going into this game. I thought they couldn't be stopped. I did say that Denver was second in points allowed, so my score was a little lower because I said they'll have a hard time scoring, and I said it's going to go down to the wire late. And I said 24-17 Dallas, but we're going it deep into the fourth quarter. They got nothing. They got no points. And Dak in the fourth quarter goes 13 of 20 for 153 in sheer straight garbage time.
Yep.
And he also threw a pick in the fourth quarter, which disturbed me. Right. The whole thing is horrifying to me because I didn't think we'd have one game like this the whole year. I thought we were going to lose some more games, but I thought we'd be competitive the way we were at GOAT on opening Thursday night. We pushed.
You thought you'd lose a shootout.
Yeah.
You didn't expect your team to.
With Tom Brady, it took him down to 124 left in the game to do what he always does.
Right.
Except at New Orleans, and he pulled it off, and they have a walk-off field goal. Well, I can take some losses like that, so I said 12-5, and then I'm starting to think, well, maybe 13-4 is more realistic because they're going to lose some more games, but if they lose them in that fashion, I'm just fine with it. They got run off the field again. This was flashback to early last year when they had the most pathetic run defense in the history of the franchise. Right. And yesterday, the Broncos, featuring Melvin Gordon, not Derrick Henry, went for 190. My team managed 78 when all year long we have been second in the league in rushing.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Zeke looked like he was running in Cabo Sand. It was like a flashback to last year. What? You're kidding me. 407 yards to a grand total of 290 for my team? You let Denver go 8 of 15 on third down?
Yeah.
You're kidding me. So here's where I got fooled, and I think they did too. All week long, and I know Dallas, Texas. I lived there for a long time. There's no city that will front run and take the Cowboys with it more than Dallas. You can say Denver worships its Broncos, but nobody worships their pro football team the way Dallas does its Cowboys. So what happened all week? They're hearing they're double-digit favorites, and this is going to be the easiest game they play maybe all year.
Right.
This is the cakewalk game. This is the one that's already money in the bank. This is almost like another bye week. That's how they went into this game against the team that had given up the second fewest points in the league.
Right.
So what happens on the opening kickoff? If we could see this, Tony Pollard is off to the races. And I immediately tweeted, he's the most underrated back in all of pro football, because you can see how shifty he is, how quick, what a burst he has, and how hard he runs. That's the best play of the game. That was it. Little did I know that it was going to go downhill from there, because I thought it was going uphill from here. When that happened, I said, we're going to roar down to an opening touchdown, and Denver's going to say, no mas, and here we will come, and it's going to be like 40-7. That's what I felt like at that point. And immediately, before I know what's happened, it suddenly comes down to a 4th and 1 at the 38-yard line. And they say, well, Zeke's got this. No, Zeke doesn't got this. That's Zeke tiptoeing to the line of scrimmage. I realize it wasn't very well blocked, but there's a blitzer. Your safety comes Justin Simmons, and he just fades right into the safety. Well, if you have any burst, any knack, any sort of sixth sense, you at least make somebody miss and get a little bit loose there.
How about take the points? But see, all year long, when the Cowboys been going for it on fourth down, you've been committing.
That was the first one. That's the one where you're doing it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you think about it, Skip. Now, all year long, you guys have been going for fourth down, and you've been co-signing Mike McCarthy. I say you're co-signing because he's getting it. I say, Skip, you got to play the averages here.
Okay, so let's go to the next one, because immediately we come right back around, and now it's 4th and 2 at the 20. This is the one where I tweeted, I'm taking the field goal here, because Denver's too solid on defense, and instead they try a little pop pass to Cedric Wilson. And first I thought the ball got tipped. Dak just didn't get a hold of it.
Yeah.
He just didn't get a hold of it. He just threw it in the dirt. This is my man, Dak Prescott.
And he's going to score. Cedric Wilson would have scored.
Well, that's man coverage, Skip. It just looked like he had a big old step, right? And would he still be running? I would hope so. And I thought this ball got tipped, and then I find out after watching the replay, he just threw it in the dirt.
Yep.
Okay. That is horrendously bad, because you can't keep missing plays like that. Right. Okay, now, speaking of missing plays, my man CeeDee Lamb yesterday got 9 targets. He caught 2 balls for 23 yards. If we could see in order the 2 throws that Dak missed him on, the first one's 3rd and 7 at the 45. This is 11:05 left in the second quarter. This is the CeeDee, and he looks like he's gone to me, and he misses him by a yard long. Is it rust? Or is Dak just having one of those days? Because that looks like, and here goes again, here's the next one, and this is Dak escaping to his right on the 4th down play. And CeeDee's got 2 steps on that one. Okay, those are 2 touchdowns that I'm putting on the quarterback, where you just flat out miss passes that could have changed the flow of the game, because it's going to get the crowd into the game. Do you realize my team had the ball 8 straight times to start the game and scored 0 points? Think about that. An offense that some were making the case was the most explosive in pro football.
Yeah, Pro Football Focus had a Webb on the list, didn't it?
That's correct. 8 straight possessions with 0, not even a field goal, because you had the field goal there. And the reason I wanted McCarthy to take the field goal on the second 4th down, the 4th and 2 at the 20, if you take a field goal there, at least it's 3-0, and you feel like, we cashed. We got some points on the board, and it might make you feel a little bit better. Now that brings me to my defense. You mentioned Tim Patrick the other day, and I give you kudos for that, because I think of Courtland Sutton, I think of Jerry Jeudy, but I don't really think much about Tim Patrick.
Patrick can play.
And he can play. He's bounced around, but he's 6'4", 215, and he ran 4.5. And all of a sudden, I look up and let's see the 3rd and 10 play at the 45.
Well, what did I tell you need to do to your guy?
Okay, 3rd and 10 at the 45, and Bridgewater just stands in there and drops a little dime. That's dropping a dime.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he comes right back on the next play and cuts it loose. That's probably as far as Teddy can throw it. And guess who he burns? My man Trevon Diggs.
On a double move.
Who will bite on just about any and everything. And if he bites right, he'll bite you.
Yep.
And if he bites wrong, he gets bitten.
Exactly.
Right?
But now, Skip, what you do early is that you double move early. Now you got him thinking. He's going to be less apprehensive because if you don't double move him early, he's going to sit in the chair and break on everything. The Broncos got out early and said, you know what? Out of the gate, let's double move him. Ooh. He bit because, like you said, Skip, he's been hearing, oh, he's going to break that record, that 14 INT record. Yep. He's going to get that. He's going to get at least 10, 11.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Okay, I got it. Tim Patrick killed my team yesterday with 4 catches for 85 yards. And every catch was big because it was either 3rd down or that touchdown. And hats off to Tim Patrick because we could not guard him. Nobody could cover him. Which brings me to the play of the game, and it's one I still can't quite get through my hard head, but it's the blocked punt. This came early in the second half.
Yeah, right off the gate.
4th and 14, and the ball gets blocked off his foot, and it goes forward, and it crosses the line of scrimmage.
Right.
So the rule as called is that...
It's the Leon roulette.
Okay, that was on a field goal, though. That was a field goal on Thanksgiving. I was there. Okay, this crosses the line of scrimmage, and Deshaun Wright just touched it.
If he don't touch it,
now the Broncos get it. But what they're saying is where he touched it, it's down because they brought the ball all the way back to the 19-yard line, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess they said he couldn't advance it.
Right.
So,
right. It's like he fumbled it because it was beyond the line of scrimmage, Skip.
But here's my problem with the rule. Did he possess the football? No. If he had possessed and then gotten stripped, I'd say, okay, you got me. It's your ball 1st and 10.
But, Skip, it's like, Skip, if I punt the ball down the field and it hits the back of the receiving team's leg, he don't possess it, but it's a fumble.
Okay, but if it hits the back of the receiving team's leg.
You're the receiving team.
Yes.
He's just not the receiver. He's on the receiving team. Okay. And he's beyond the line of scrimmage.
Okay, but usually, no, you're the coverage team.
No.
Okay, you're the receiving. I got it. You're the coverage. Okay, so that's what they're calling.
Yes.
They're calling the downfield rule upfield because the ball happened to barely cross the line of scrimmage by about a yard.
That is correct.
So if the ball had fallen a little short of the line of scrimmage and Deshaun Wright had touched it, then it's okay.
Correct.
Then it's just a dead ball.
Correct.
Or maybe you could still recover it.
But the thing, what happens, Skip, is that because he's beyond the line of scrimmage, he's an eligible receiver. So he could run with the ball. So he could have got it. But once he touches it, it's just like if I punt the ball down the field, and we've seen this, Skip, the guy's trying to block and the ball caroms off his leg. Yep. They jump on it. It's the same thing. He's a part of the receiving team, even though he's not the receiver. He's not the punt returner.
Yeah, Bones Fossil, your man from Denver, and Mike McCarthy were just stupefied at what happened because they couldn't process, because they're over there celebrating, and it didn't ring true to them. Wait a second. I still don't love the rule of it because it feels like you did enough to get the football back because you actually blocked the punt.
Right.
Usually block punts go backward.
Right.
And if it had gone backward, we'd be having a whole different story.
Here's the thing, Skip. Normally what happens, if somebody blocks, say, a PAT, it used to be, Skip, if the ball, you block something, Skip, and it goes beyond the line of scrimmage, what do they tell you? Get away from it. Your old Leon Lett rule, what happened on Christmas Day. Get away from it. It's a lot. You touch it, and it's beyond the line of scrimmage. The other team jumps on it. It's their ball. Skip, you don't think like that because, like you said, I punt the ball, you hear that double thud, the ball normally goes backwards. For some reason, this ball projected forward. And Skip, he's not thinking. He sees the ball right there. He tries to grab it. It touches his hands, and the Denver guy scoop. Was Johnny right on, and how he just got it clean, Skip, because it caromed off his hand, it hit the ground, and the Bronco player scooped it up.
Yeah.
That was really the turning point because that was the first drive out of the half, Skip. So now you guys are about to have great field position, and it felt like you're like, okay, here come the Cowboys now. They've got their second win. They blocked the punt, and they went right down the field, and okay, you know what happened after that.
Okay, so bottom line to this football game. I can make a case. I'm trying to see the glasses half full case that this is the best thing that could have happened to my still young football team, a team that doesn't yet know how to win because it's missed the playoffs the last 2 years. And it needed to get knocked off its 6-1 high horse.
Yeah.
It needs to be knocked back to earth where it says, wait a second, we have to come out and play hard against everybody because they were not ready to play. Mike McCarthy's not going to get them ready to play. He said he used all week long, don't take the cheese, meaning the cheese in the rat or mouse trap.
Right.
And yesterday, they actually played like mice, not men, mice.
You told me you're going to win in spite of Mike McCarthy. So I'm not going to allow you to blame Mike McCarthy for this. Because
so somebody, starting with Dak Prescott, has to lift the team up in the pregame locker room or the pregame huddle and get them ready to play against a dangerous opponent just because the opponent is good on defense.
Yeah.
It's solid.
They're good.
Okay?
They're solid.
They are solid. That they can make you pay on defense if you're not ready to play. And obviously they weren't ready to play because they dropped passes, they had penalties. It was a disaster, a debacle of a performance that all smacks of we're just not ready today to play.
You said you want to look at this as a glass half full. A glass half full of what? Now, if you're a man on a stranded on a desert island and you got a half a glass of water, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if it's a half a glass of poison, are you still...
It's a half a glass of Diet Mountain Dew. That's what it is.
But it all depends.
That's the breakfast of champions. That's the nectar of the
Broncos
gods.
brought that poison.
Yeah.
Brought that poison to Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, Melvin Gordon, running that thing. And William. Skip, y'all had him. You remember that long run he had?
Yep.
Like 7, 8, 9, 10 tackles.
Nobody tackled.
Bob Lilly, Randy White hit him too tall. Harvey Martin, everybody he just kept chugging.
I told you, I loved how the defense played at Minnesota because Kirk Cousins is dangerous. He went 1 for 13 on third down. What did he do to your Ravens yesterday? He lit them up. He lit them up.
Lost.
He took them all the way to overtime. He had a QBR of 72, scale of 0 to 100, and outplayed Lamar.
They did not play Lamar.
Yeah.
But anyway, Skip, but I told you, Skip, this was an indictment on Kirk Cousins. This is why they let Cooper Rush start. This is why you won the ball game. It wasn't about, it was third down, 1 of 13 on third down. And now yesterday, Teddy Biasik and Teddy Two Glove come in there and go 8 of 15 on you.
Yeah.
Did a number on you.
You know, I can't talk about the Vikings.
Now we're ready to play.
Y'all ready to play what?
Yep, ready to play Atlanta, and we're a 9-point favorite again over
you see what
Atlanta.
Atlanta just did?
The odds makers are still with us.
All right. Did you enjoy that gloating, Shannon?
I did. Skip, you enjoyed it, Skip.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.